Hi guys, welcome to the Python Essentials Part 2 lecture. In the Part 1, we have explored Python's data types. Now in this lecture, we will discuss comparison operators, if, else, elif statements. Let's move on and learn by doing. You can either create a new Jupyter notebook or you can continue with the previous one. So let's continue with the previous one. Let's start with comparison operators. Comparison operators allows to compare two elements to each other, such as greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, etc. Something like we have 3 is greater than 4. This is false. So we are comparing if 3 is greater than 4, and we are getting in the output this is false. Say 3 is less than 4, this is true. What if we want to say greater or equal? 2 is greater or equal to 4? This is false. And the same way, like 2 is less or equal to 4. This is true. So if we want to compare two elements, like 1 is same as 1 or 1 equal to 1, this is different than equal sign, which is also called assignment operator. So here we are comparing if 1 is equal to 1, this is true. If 1 equal to 2, this is false. We can compare two strings like Tim and Tim. They are different, so it's false again. Another type of operators are logic operators. Logic operators combine multiple conditions using keywords like and, or, between the conditions. In case of and, all conditions must be satisfied. Like if we want to say 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3. Let's put them into parentheses. So if we run this thing, so 1 is less than 2 is true and 2 is less than 3 is true. So both conditions must be satisfied. For OR operator, one condition must be satisfied, like 1 is less than 2 or 2 is say greater than 3. Let's put them in parentheses again and run this statement. So this is true. So 1 is less than 2 is true. However, 2 is greater than 3 is false. But because this is OR operator, one condition must be satisfied. So this one is satisfied and we got true in the output. What if we have 1 is greater than 2 or 2 is greater than 3? This is false. 1 is greater than 2 is false. 2 is greater than 3 is false. So both are false, but still with OR operator, because minimum condition is 1 must be satisfied, so the output is false. Let's try another one. 1, 2, or 2 equal to 3, or 4 equal to 4. In this condition, 1 is equal to 2 is false. 2 equal to 3 is false. 4 equal to 4 is true. What should we expect in the output? Let's try. So this is true because this 4 equal to 4 is satisfied, and we met the condition, which is one condition must be satisfied for R. So this is true. So moving forward to if, else, else if statements. Lots of times we want to execute the code to perform some action based on, like, if the condition is true, we want something in the output. If the condition is false, we don't want to run the block of code after that one. We can do such things using if, else, elif statements. The Python if statement select actions to perform. Let's try with some example. Let's add some cells first. So if 3 is greater than 2 and we have a colon here, enter, print true. Let's run this thing. This is true. If 3 is greater than 2, yes, 3 is greater than 2, condition is satisfied, and the next code will be executed. Notice the block of white space before the print statement. It is very important in Python. Python does not use brackets in order to separate a block of code execution statements. It uses white spaces instead. Like most of the other IDEs for Python, Jupyter automatically does this indentation for us after a colon. So we have a colon here. Jupyter Notebook knows what he has to do. So it gives the space here for the next block of code. So what if the condition is not satisfied? Let's try if 3 is less than 2, colon, print true. We don't get anything in the output. So in this case, condition is not satisfied and the code after this condition is not executed. In such situation, we usually want our program to do something even if the condition is not satisfied. Like we want to print false if the condition is not satisfied. At least we want to know that our code is working. At least we want to know what the code is doing. This is where we introduce else. Let's try this thing again with else. If 3 is less than 2, print true, else print false. Now we have false in the output. So if condition is not satisfied, the next statement is not going to be executed. The control will be shifted to the else statement here, and it will print false because the condition is not satisfied. We can have multiple conditions in the code. Let's introduce elif in such situation. Elif is a short of else if. We can introduce many elif statements in the code. Like we can have if 1 equal to 2, print statement 1. We can say elif 2 equal to 2, print statement 2, and let's finish it with else print statement 3. Let's run this code here. So we got statement 2 in the output. What is happening? If 1 is not equal to 2, which is false, the control will be shifted to elif statement, and it will evaluate if 2 equal to 2 and then print statement 2. Notice that the code will only execute the first true condition. It doesn't matter if you have other true conditions in the code after first true. This is important to know in elif statement, that the code will only execute the first true condition and it will leave the block after that one. Let's try another one here. If 1 equal to 2, let's copy this code here. This is much easier to copy, and we can convert this else to elif and then add else, print statement 4 and put it in the quotes, and we can say 3 equal to 3. Let's run this code. So now once again we have statement 2 in the output. Even if 3 equal to 3 is true, so the code will only execute the first true condition. Although this statement is true, the statement will not be printed as the second is already true and is already executed. So this was all about comparison operators, if, else, and elif statements. I hope that you enjoyed this lecture. Let's move on to the next lecture, where we will overview the other important concepts in Python, such as loops, list comprehensions, functions, and much more. See you in the next lecture. Good luck.